a member, recently took the position that training of students should include environmental, social, and governance within the framework of sustainability. This is the main reason why the topics have been chosen. The School of Business has been given a 4-year period by AASB to prepare for accreditation. We have spent about 3 years already, left in 1 year to prepare for the accreditation processes. We are required as a school to develop the skills of our students relevant for the job market, such as data skills, public speaking, critical thinking, and above all, to develop the capacity of our students to take up community engagement. We also believe in internship engagement. That is why we have made internships at level 200 and 300 compulsory, because we believe during the internship period, students will have some experiences that is required within the work environment, learn good values, and acquire the much needed social skills. We humbly request of our speakers to support us with the networks for internship placement for our students. It is also our intention to scale up learning and industrial course by our students under the leadership of our colleagues. We especially welcome the headmasters of senior high schools within our catchment area who are gracing this occasion today. We wish to assure you that UCC School of Business is ready to admit your qualified students during the next admission window. Kindly tell your students of the lively environment for business education you are witnessing today. I welcome all of you. Thank you.
The next on the agenda is someone I personally call Professor Entrepreneurship. The skills development is at the heart of all that she does. She will tell you, learn something new. Let's welcome the Pro Vice Chancellor.
Prof. Chair, please allow me to refer to the protocol already established. I'm given 3 minutes, so I'll just give brief remarks. I must commend the management of the School of Business for instituting this CEO engagement series. This shows that industry-academia collaboration is at the heart of the university's business. Of course, we are the first #1 university in Ghana, 1 in West Africa, 4th in Africa, and 24th when it comes to research influence. And we are interested in this industry-academia collaboration because we've realized that to be able to train our students who will be agents of change within the community in which they find themselves, we should be able to train students who can develop these 21st century skills. And we are not only looking at the 21st century skills, we are also looking at the sustainable development goals. And therefore, we commence looking at our curriculum to see if we can incorporate these skills and these goals in all that we teach and do in this university. In addition, we also cherish what we call practice orientation. So we don't want to only give students theory, we also want to give them the opportunity to practice what they've been taught in the classroom. Last week I had the opportunity to meet a CEO of one of these big companies. For privacy sake, I'm not going to mention the name. And this morning I was telling my colleagues I went with a professor because we were looking at a specific area of collaboration. And by the time we got there, he's got assistants. And every 5 minutes when he's saying something, you have to type on your phone. So within 30 minutes we met him. He said, we are going to Thailand. The professor you came with, we want to go with him to Thailand because we are going to meet business partners. And within 1 hour, we had to get someone to come to Cape Coast, take the professor's passport, send it to someone at the airport. So he had to call the airport to make sure that there is a plane leaving for Abuja that evening. And within 24-48 hours, the professor has gotten the visa and the passport. And as I speak now, he's in Thailand with the business delegation. And I'm giving you this example for you to understand how the work environment or the private sector works. And therefore, I believe that with this presentation by our cherished lady, because I'm a woman, I hope students, you jot down points, pick ideas, and it doesn't have to end here. There is a need for you to know how to also build networks with these CEOs that you use as part of our engagement series, so that one day, when you get the opportunity to go out there, you'll be able to see them, or you'll be able to get advantage or take advantage of the connections they have, so that at the end of the day, as I indicated earlier, you will be agents of transformation within the community in which you find yourselves. So, on this note, I wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Get legs, make the contacts. And truly, you need to make the contacts before you leave here. One of our guest speakers met us a month ago, and she said, we are looking for young ladies to do some work. We have the funding for it, but we are not getting any from people. We usually depend on Legon to do it. But today, we have to get the contacts, make sure we contact them, so that will be part of these particular programs. Let me just introduce some guests that we have among us. The ex-House President, can I see you up? We want to recognize you. Lawrence is among us. The Grassat President Adams is among us. We have the branch manager for ADD campus, Mr. Joshua Tade, is among us. We have the headmaster for Ogwa Secondary Technical School, Mr. Michael Sego, is also among us. All right. Time for business. Time to take our pens and papers to listen to the words of wisdom from these noble ladies. I will call on the Vice Dean, Professor Safaji, to introduce the first speaker for the day.
Prof. Chair, with your permission, I would like to introduce our special speaker for today. She is an experienced finance professional with over 22 years work experience, both in Ghana and the United Kingdom. She is currently a director at EY Ernst & Young and leads the firm's strategy and transaction service in line in Ghana. She's one of the few female certified valuation analysts in Africa, and a member of the National Association of Certified Valuators and Analysts, USA. She's a chartered global management accountant and a member of SEMA UK. She holds an MBA in Corporate Finance from the University of Leicester, UK. She also holds a Bachelor of Commerce from the University of Cape Coast. She is a holder of the Securities Industry Certificate from the Ghana Stock Exchange. She was part of the year-long Energy Finance program by the National Banking College. Her area of expertise cuts across business valuation, due diligence, strategy, financial modeling, capital raise, and general M&A advisory. Proud to join in EY, she was the head of corporate finance and research for SIC Financial Services, an investment banking firm in Ghana. She has worked with Lloyds, TSB, and AIG in London, UBA, and Universal Merchant Bank in Ghana. Prof. Chair, our guest speaker, also has immense corporate governance experience, having served on governing board of Volta River Authority and 3 of its subsidiaries. She currently represents Africa on the Valuation Credential Board of the National Association of Certified Valuators and Analysts in the USA. Kindly help me welcome Mrs. Alex Osei Okra, our first guest speaker.
Thank you very much, Prof, for these kind words. I'm really grateful. A lot of courtesies have been established, but Prof. Chair, please bear with me to still acknowledge a few. Prof. Chair, special guest of honor, Professor Mrs. Rosamond Bohemi. I'm really fortunate and blessed, She taught me about 23 years ago. She's a role model. We all aspire to be like her. And it's so fulfilling. And I'm so happy to see her in such a role. So, Prof, I'm so grateful. Continue to mentor and set as a role model to all of us. Professor Gongachi, Dean of Business School, Professor Samuel Kweku Eje, Professor Kwame Osei Kwating, Provost, College of Humanity and Legal Studies, Professor Yadom, please, are you around? Head of Accounting. He taught me we used to call him Payo, is that the name? All right, so he also taught us a lot. Most of the skills we developed, we got the foundation from here. My co-speaker, Mrs. Yvonne Dassi, whom I'm privileged to share the stage with today. All other protocols observed, because there are a lot of people, so all other protocols observed. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, before I go into my presentation, please permit me to welcome you once again and express my heartfelt appreciation to the leadership of UCC, and most especially Professor Gaje, for the great honor of inviting me to speak at this innovative UCC Business CEO Engagement Series. I am certain that with this great initiative, it will propel the institution to achieve its vision of becoming the best business school in Africa. And I do not take this for granted at all. The G in ESG, as my topic will say, fit into your core values. I'm UCC trained, so I'll ask questions. There's a G in your core values. What does it stand for? Please be bold. There's a G in the core values of the University of Cape Coast Business School.
So you check me.
Good governance. Please clap for him. So thank you very much. I am really grateful. I will quickly go into my presentation. I'll try and finish within time so that we can have a lot of time to engage. Mrs. Simon will also present, so during the open forum we can also share some experience, in lessons we learned while we were here that can also help you. During my time here, I was the Women's Commission chairperson then. I was also on the academic committee. I was a member of the mass choir. I was also the secretary for SWAP. We had SWAP, we call the Students Work Abroad Program. And please take advantage of some of these initiatives. Very important. So we got the opportunity to go to London. You go and work at the restaurants. You develop, your human relations skills, cultural diversity, and all these things are helping. So now I work with a global firm. We interact with people from all over the world. And these are great opportunities. We took advantage while we were students here. So please, don't only focus on the academics, it's very important, but also take advantage of all the other extracurricular activities that the university, presents. So the key highlight of my presentation, I'll do a brief introduction, talk about ESG at high level, and link it to the SDGs, and how ESG can be infused into the academic curriculum so that students, faculty can all make insight contributions to it. And then I will conclude. Bear with me, I think the font is a bit small. We will still share with the school so that those that are interested can pick it. So here, I think ESG we all know, so I shouldn't do quiz. You still do quizzes. It's very good. The training you are getting here, it builds you for life. It's the foundation. So once you are able to excel and complete UCC, you can fit anywhere. So please take it seriously and be very proud that you are here. So ESG, as we all know, stands for environmental social governance. It's a set of standards, for companies' operations that focus on managing the environmental impact and how the company also treats its employees and how it upholds corporate governance. I think when we were reading my profile, I've done some level of work in the area of governance as well. When it comes to board operation, how the strategic direction of the company, is managed, it also falls under ESG. The global focus now really is on ESG. There's so much, education, advocacy going on for us to be able to protect the environment. And it normally, sometimes we interchange the ESG with sustainability. So when we talk about sustainability, the UN Commission on Environment and Development defines sustainability as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is very important. So for generations to continue, what are we doing today that is to have an impact on the future? So when we talk about the environment, business decision, what impact is it having on the environment? What impact is business strategic direction having on the social aspect when it comes to working with people, working with gender, that also talks about the social. So environmental, how are we emitting carbon emissions the pollution, how are we treating our waste? Are we recycling? Are we wasting water? So even at an individual level, how are you taking decisions day in and day out so that future generations are taken care of? Library, anti-money laundering. So now, even for companies, before we take on a client, we go through, anti-money laundering. You go through due diligence, KYC, to make sure that the client you are onboarding has good reputation. And I also want to give high-level, data. So there are a lot of research we do as a firm. We call this CEO survey. So we survey thousands of CEOs, and they give us their view as to how ESG is impacted. So ESG in the business world, is here to stay. So ESG is here to stay. So take advantage of all the learnings that are available, either via courses or programs such as this, or online. Please take advantage of that. So the CEOs we surveyed, 32%, and then 28% of boards, and 44% of investors indicated that ESG is one of the top 3 priorities when it comes to business risk that can impact negatively on the activities of business. And we have what we call the assets. There's a group, Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. 2 years ago, COP was held in, COP26 was in Glasgow, last year was in Egypt. So assets under management, 130 trillion financial institutions have pledged to align financing to net zero. So they will be giving funding to companies that have green initiatives, companies that are working to reduce their emissions. So in Ghana, so there was a recent conference in December, financing upstream oil and gas in Takoradi that I presented. So in Ghana, how do we, balance the dichotomy of the environment, transition, green financing, net zero, as against fossil fuel of our oil and gas capabilities? So some of the banks in developed economies have policies that specifically state that they are not going to fund any oil and gas upstream exploration because of the high carbon emissions that it emits. So in Ghana, the slide that I'll talk a bit detailed on, around green financing, around green bonds. How many of us are aware that we have a green bond guidelines? Okay, so someone's hand up there. Okay, so there's a green bond guideline that the Ghana Stock Exchange, through the regulations that the Ghana fixed income markets have launched, so that people that want to raise funding for green financing or sustainability-linked projects will be able to access. And it's good that you are participating in such a project, because I heard of entrepreneurial programs. So entrepreneurs looking for funding know that there's this avenue that you can avail yourself. So. And this slide also talks about investors' perception with regards to ESG. 99% of the investors that were surveyed utilize ESG disclosures as part of their investment decision making. 76% of the investors believe that companies are highly selective in what information they put out to investors. Raising concerns of greenwashing. Have you heard of greenwashing? This is for students. Greenwashing, green hashing. Yeah. So these are also greenwashing. That means people are not taking green initiatives, but they'll tell you maybe we are using solar, we are recycling, to pose as if they are, sustainable, but when you go and check and audit, you realize that they are not as sustainable as they are portrayed to be, and that is called greenwashing. So they are washing, pretending to be green, but they are not. Others are also what we call green hashing. They have green initiatives, but they are not putting it out there enough. And there's a typical example I'll talk about as we go along. 80% of investors said that too many companies fail to properly articulate the rationale for long-term investment in sustainability. So some investors think that, you are not really articulating the benefits of investing in that. Right, so this slide talks about the SDGs. I'm sure we are all familiar with, so I won't spend so much time on it. But I have 3 other slides that I have categorized which of the SDG fits into economic, environmental, fit into social, or fit into governance. So as finance professionals, or as professionals in this generality, so that I just don't zoom into just the finance profession, because from the audience, the cross-section of industries here. So as professionals, the environmental, we have 6 main SDGs that fit into the environmental. So SDG 6, clean water, 7, affordable and clean energy, 12, responsible production and consumption, 13, climate action, 14, life below water, and 25, life on land. So all these things under that. And then when we come to social, we also have 7 that directly fits under the SDG, under social, under ESG. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 that talks about decent work and economic growth. I spoke about it when I was talking of the social, and then reduce inequalities. So at a high level, this is how the Sustainable Development Goals fit into the social under the ESG. And we also have governance. So we have another 6 that also fits directly for governance: decent work and pay, industry innovation, responsible consumption, partnership for goals, peace, justice, strong institutions. So strong institutions, we all know, is a key feature for governance, and that fits under it. Right. So I've given the overview, I've talked briefly about the SDGs and how they fit into either environmental, social, or governance. Now, we are going to talk about why business schools should focus on ESG. Maybe I should go back. I'm going to do the piece again. What are some of the things that you think, and maybe in the interest of time? So I just categorized them into 3, and I've also done a 7 points that will also guide the discussion. So for job market expectation, and I'm taking this really from the standpoint of the student. So as a student, why should I be interested in ESG? 1, you develop risk management expertise. There's a lot around sustainability reporting and opportunities in that space. So you develop that. ESG motivated shareholder activism. So if you have, shares in companies that are listed, or you're a shareholder, you're able to take that up. That what are your green initiatives? Because you have the know-how, or you have been sensitive enough to learn, and you're able to do that. So that is a job market expectation. So we are looking for these skills in order to fill the ever-increasing sustainability market. And for students, involvement in practical ESG initiatives. You enroll in ESG course. You diversity in admission and classroom experience. So all these comes in, most institutions, I'm sure UCC is part, also take into consideration, even in the admission mix. If we are oversubscribed and we have space for 100 people, how do we allocate it, amongst equally qualified male and female? So the female also have the requisite skills. They meet the basic entry requirement. How are we allocating? So so that at the end of the day we have that gender balance in the classroom that foster inclusive diversity. And for faculty, it also gives opportunity to contribute to ESG literature. So there's a lot of research in that space. So academia also gives the opportunity, as you lecture, you research into it, you contribute, and it also helps in involving in practical initiatives. And it's also very prestigious. We have UCC, it's now a leading advocate. We have courses in ESG. There's one university, MIT, there's this Chief Sustainability Officer course online, all over the place, but very expensive. So if UCC is also able to put up a course like that, it will really be prestigious, and it might even attract funding, because there's a lot of developmental funding going to create the awareness to protect the environment. And I came up with seven main points on how we can integrate ESG into the business school curriculum. Please bear with me a moment. So how can we integrate ESG into the business school culture? Integrating ESG contribution into the business school is crucial for producing graduates who can relate or who can create sustainable, responsible businesses. And by incorporating the principles into business education, business schools such as UCC really will prepare the future leaders to address this critical, challenge that we are facing. And this will really help, as I defined, we will create a world that is good for generations to come. And there are some key ways we can do so. One, developing an ESG curriculum. I'm sure maybe some of the schools might have a subject or two around ESG, but it will be very important to have a course specifically for ESG for business school. So any student that passes through UCC Business School takes that ESG course as fundamental. So as people develop interest, they can decide to pursue it further. So this will talk about sustainability around carbon trading and all the ethics, governance. This will really help in building the interest. So whether you are specializing in accounting, finance, human resource management, what are the other specializations? Marketing, procurement and supply chain, and management. So it doesn't matter which area you are specializing in, you will take ESG as a core, course. I think during our time we had the liberal courses, domestic violence and all that we were all supposed to take, beginning German and all that. But this will be a core course for the business school. And even those in other faculties that are interested can also enroll, but it will be anchored here by the business school, that they will drive that, and courses will be developed. And this will help deepen our understanding. There's a lot around. So Ghana now, we have the sustainable banking principles. We have the Ghana framework for international carbon markets. So the sustainable banking principles, it guides financial institutions on, key areas. So they have 7 key principles. So identifying, measuring, mitigating and monitoring environmental and social risks, promoting good ESG in banks and internal business operations, strengthening good corporate governance and ethical standards. It also helps foster gender equality, facilitating financial inclusion, that is, even the sectors we are giving money to, the women involved, gender-based financing. Let's all look at it in an encompassing way. It also enhances resource efficiency and sustainable production and consumption. So as I indicated, so for financial institutions like banks, apart from having their own core responsibility on their ESG strategy and mission, they also have a dual role of giving funding specific sectors, that are more renewable, and those that are high emitting, emit all these greenhouse gases. How are they balancing? So that at the end of the day, their business strategy or their credit risk policies really looks at these things. So when there's a course like that, participants of these courses will get insights on current trends, what is going on in the banking sector. So if someone is interested in financial services, the person will already have detailed insights before you come. If you are interested in carbon, market, it's an upcoming field in Ghana. We just recently had a framework by the EPA. So that will also give us, insight to be able to learn. And then the second, we introduce the ESG into the core courses as I've mentioned. So developing the curriculum, integrating it into the core courses. And this will also help you, to understand the impact of ESG on certain current trends. So for instance, if we take business valuation, really sits under finance. Yeah, so most of these financing basic foundation, I got it here. So when you are talking about cost of capital, what is the impact on ESG on cost of capital, cost of equity, cost of debt, your beta, the risk level? What is the impact? So once the course has been integrated into the school, you get these current trends. So even before you get into the world of work, you are well versed in all these things. And also, now there's a lot of what we call sustainability due diligence. So due diligence, there are companies that want to invest. Maybe a private equity firm want to put in money in a company in Ghana. How are they doing? So there's also that core area that is developing ESG due diligence. So as these courses are fused into the curriculum, you develop that expertise to be able to take advantage of some of these job opportunities as they come. And then once we integrate, we can also make it a core area. So people can even take it further, where we now develop, apart from just being a course that everybody takes, it is also developed into an area of specialization, as we have for accounting, as we have for finance. When we were doing BCom, we didn't have the specialization, we did everything. So you are expert in a particular field. So if ESG is also added, you have that core competence to be able to do that. And we can also use case studies, to help as we integrate it, as it becomes a core area. We can have case studies. So there are companies, I mentioned Green Action. When we were at the oil and gas conference I mentioned, there's one major oil and gas upstream player, for purpose of privacy, I'll mention the name. They are into partnership with another government institution, tree planting lots of trees that is offsetting their carbon emissions. But they are not making noise enough. So that is some area of green action. So from one side, you think that they are oil and gas exploration, hydrocarbons, greenhouse emission intensive. But on the other hand, they partnered with this government institution that are planting hundreds and thousands of trees in offsetting that. And then another way that we can infuse ESG into the academics for holistic training is also engaging industry experts. And this is I commend Professor Tachi and the team once again. So we bring key industry experts to share knowledge with the business school, and by so doing, we're able to develop skills and also get people interested in the field. So this is similar to the CEO engagement series. And congratulations once again. So the set point, how we can really integrate ESG is through the provision of experiential learning opportunities. When Professor Gatti was speaking, he made mention of, internship, and now he indicated that second year it's compulsory for you to undertake a form of internship. So this can also be done, through experiential learning opportunities, such as consulting projects, study abroad, programs, and then exchange programs. So I mentioned SWAP, it is still around, Students Work Abroad program. It's not there, okay. So we have people who are going to UK, US, Canada, and they'll give you work permits. So they give you 2 years work permit. We normally do it around third year, second year. So by the time you come back and you're done, you still have 1 year. So you go, you work for a year, and then you come. So that's what I did. So I worked with Lloyds for a year, came back for student visa, went back to do my master's, worked for it, and came back. So it was a very good program. Probably people have used it, so some of these things they review as time goes on. But please, take advantage of it, speak with faculty. They do get some of these opportunities so that you work on it. And also internship, very important. And some of these internships, don't just be looking at it from maybe financial standpoint. You can even go to a company and tell them that you just want to do it, they shouldn't pay you. You're happy to come, work, get experience and go. The university will give you the introductory letter. You work with key, players. There are a lot of companies that do take. It's a way of also giving to society. So they normally do it, and it doesn't take long. Sometimes 2 months, 3 months during vacation, and you focus on it and you work. You get a lot of experience. So that is also a way that the university can, incorporate or infuse it into it. And also the final one is to measure, report and measure. How are we doing it? All right. So how are we, communicating? So if we have all these green initiatives, we should also make sure that ESG is out there, UCC Business School is leading, and everybody gets to know what we're doing. So I think my time is up. I have a few, I'll just use 2 minutes to wrap up, then we can go. So some of the advantages, as I mentioned, you get to know the current trends in the industry. So the funding, so there's a lot of green funding available now. I mentioned the Ghana Stock Exchange bond guidelines, so you have companies of bonds of corporates, government institutions that can list. So there are specific guidelines. If the application of funds, you're going to use it for a green initiative, such as maybe you're going to do hydro or anything that is solar, that has lower emissions, you can do that. Or you even have a sustainability linked bond. That means your application of funds, even though you're going to emit, you still have some element of green. So all these data are available, and when we infuse the ESG, you get to know the current trends. And as an individual, as an aspiring entrepreneur, or if you're looking to work with an organization, you have that knowledge base. So in conclusion, my time is up, I should conclude, yes. I would like to say that awareness creation will remain important in dealing with climate-related risks. And by infusing ESG principles into UCC's Business School program delivery, it will really help us develop future leaders who are sustainable inclined and have the planet in mind, and that whatever decision we are taking today will have a fruitful impact on generations to come when it talks about the environmental, social, and governance. So thanks so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. We will engage further.
Thank you. Great time to start this way. This is massive. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a whole lot. Now, I saw the team making a lot of notes. The heads of departments also making notes. I'm sure very soon the debate will continue. Which department is going to host the ESG program? How is it going to be done? And so, I have some takeaways. I have some takeaways from the presentation. Sustainability has been defined for us as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future. We talk about green energy solution using paper bags. And I could remember one of the programs we organized at the School of Business. There was a student that qualified and was sent to Germany. She used the blender to do paper bags. And she's in production now. Yeah. So that is good. The companies or individuals these days are getting employment, not for salaries, but for values for which the companies are created. Diversity is very important. That one of the key priorities for companies today is ESG, and the government of Ghana, through the Ghana Stock Exchange, has introduced the Green Bond Guidelines. The Bank of Ghana has also introduced one. We've been told that investors around the world, when they are taking investment decisions, those who have been interviewed, 99% of them look at ESG scores disclosure for companies. And I'm sure that is why the Ghana Stock Exchange had introduced the ESG scoring system now. We have the sustainability accounting standards that is coming up. So the call for us to introduce, of course, ESG is in the right direction. We have two terms that I have learned today. I've learned about greenwashing, green hashing, and how we can infuse the sustainability development goals into our ESG scores. Please let us give it more. Let us do more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we will take the second presentation, then we will come with the open forum. So, Vice Dean, please can you introduce our second speaker?
I have the privilege of introducing the second speaker for today, another distinguished lady. She is a chartered management accountant with over 20 years of post-qualification experience. She has worked in a number of industries, including engineering, finance, retail, petrochemicals, publishing, and non-profit organizations, and has had the privilege of being involved in a wide variety of major engineering projects and business initiatives. In 2005, she set up an accounting firm by name Acknowledge Accounting, which focused on the preparation of management accounts as a means to driving and delivering financial stability and efficiency within organizations. The firm was very deliberate in targeting bright young girls, non-accountants, from previously disadvantaged backgrounds and training them to become bookkeepers and accountants. She is a founder and CEO of Think Twice, a non-profit organization set up to redress the ever-increasing imbalance in our everyday lives. She is passionate about skills development and readily partners with organizations to to achieve set objectives. She serves on several company boards, including SEMA Benevolent Fund, Welcome Microfinance Limited, and Adventure Capital Limited. Help me welcome Mrs. Yvonne Gucci, our second guest speaker.
Okay, whilst we wait for everyone to get sorted, I'd like to thank you all for making the effort to come. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the deans, the professors. I can't mention anyone's name, but thank you, students. This is for you. So I really appreciate the fact that you all made the effort to come down. I can't really boast like my fellow speaker for coming from UCC, but I can boast that I did do a year of secondary school in Cape Coast. Thank you. So I'm also an old Cape Coast person. I actually attended Wesley Dells High School for 1 year. Are we? Should I come down here?
Yeah, so let me use this opportunity. You realize that the first speaker is a SEMA member. The second speaker also a SEMA member. They are brought in here by the Chief Executive Officer of SEMA Ghana, Paul Adinagwa. Paul, where are you? Paul is in the hall. Paul is sitting somewhere at the back. All right. Yeah, so that is Paul there. Paul is at the back. Then he sent me something.
I don't want to say what come.
Paul sent me something to share with you. Okay. So, we'll leave the audience to our guests now. After that, I will share what Paul wanted me to share with you. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I have to apologize for sitting down to do this presentation. But thank you, and sorry for the... Okay, as mentioned earlier, I'm the CEO and founder for a company called Big Price. I set up this organization when I moved back to Ghana with my family. And the whole idea about Think Right is about circularity, and not necessarily just circularity in what Madam Alice spoke about, but circularity of knowledge. What I realized when I came to Ghana, talking to a lot of young people and dealing with them, I noticed that there are a lot of brilliant young people in Ghana, but they're not recognized. A lot of the times when you go to several organizations, you get the heads of the organizations or the people working in what I call the prestigious positions seem to be diaspora people who have come over from overseas, who have studied from overseas. So I used to wonder, what's the problem? Why aren't I seeing our young people in these positions? I started working with some young people and I realized how brave they were. But the problem, I think, is I'm going to criticize our media people a little bit. The things that you sometimes put out there, it's not quite accurate. So you get images of, children in schools not knowing what a mouse is, and those negative images that then feed back into the Western world. And so in their minds, when they come to Ghana or Africa, when they move to Africa to set up a business, they're thinking, our people are not that skilled, so we can't employ them, they don't even know what a mouse is, etc., etc. So anyway, that was my idea of setting up Think Right. So I thought, okay, let's give these people a run for their money. Let's train our young people to a certain standard that matches or exceeds what they expect or what they used to. So when they come here, they can see the potential that we have. So I'll just quickly talk about what the agenda is. I'm going to talk quickly about skills and skills development, then the importance of skills development as a student. Then I'm going to talk about my PECS project, Excel Our Girls, which is an analytical skills development program for graduate and undergraduate girls. I don't want the guys to attack me because I've got something for you as well. And that's the finance project, which I'm going to talk about. I was able to speak to the gentleman who heads this program, and he agreed to extend it to the university here, the Cape Coast University students as well. It's pro bono, it's on a Friday afternoon for 2 hours, and you're going to learn a lot. It's really worthwhile. They're going to do a short demonstration on Excel, just to give you a flavor of what you can do. Then we'll end with our questions. Okay, skills and skills development. When we talk about skills, what do we mean? What are skills? Can anyone help me? Or we need to be quick, so I'll just run through it quickly. So, when we talk about skills, we refer to the ability to perform a task effectively and efficiently. Okay, and when we talk about skills development, that's an ongoing thing. So it's a process of acquiring new skills. Okay, so skills development can be either informal skills or formal skills, depending on where you're working and what you need to do. I'm now going to talk about skills development as a student, okay? So, like I said to you before, there are a lot of negative connotations on the education standards in Ghana, which I totally disagree with, because I have spent time with a lot of young students, and the grades have just blown my mind. So, basically, as a student, it's important, back to some of you, it's important for all of you to realize how relevant it is for you to acquire skills whilst you're studying. Don't wait till after you're graduated, because when you do that, the people that you're competing with have already gained those skills when they're studying. So you're already behind. There are lots of programs. Now you're all proficient with YouTube and all these kind of stuff. There are lots and lots of programs and videos on various skills that you can attain in your own time. I know that some of us are not very good in managing our times, i.e. setting specific times aside to do certain tasks. So there are also organized programs, which I'm going to talk to you about, which you're then kind of forced into doing. These are essential, they're crucial, so please just take advantage of everything that comes your way. Like Madam Alice said, any little opportunity that you get, just take it, because it really will help with your CV. Employers are not only looking for academia, that's old now, because with 20 million people who are just as clever as you are, they just want that one different thing that's going to set you apart from the rest of the 20 million. So you really need to take advantage, wherever you are, whatever you can do, just take advantage of whoever is offered to you and make the most of it. So we've spoken about the importance of skills development as a student and the types of different skills, job-specific skills, where when you go into employment, they'll train you to do a particular job. But the one that I fancy is the transferable skills, and that's things like time management and team building, team working, working as a team, presentational skills. Those are the kind of skills that give you the confidence to be able to go out there and prove yourself. Now, the School of Business students, a little bird told me when I came in this afternoon that when you're given projects to do as a team, you don't actually work as a team. Everybody goes off in their own little direction. And then you kind of like split the work between yourselves, and then you come together and then present your work. But that's not what team working is about. It's about working in a team. When you go out there, you need to be able to work in a team. You need to be able to communicate with different people. You need to be able to understand how your team workers think, so you can allocate like the work to the best person, or person who's best to fulfill that role. So I'm not going to mention the little bird's name, but please do work in teams. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to build your confidence. You're going to learn from each other. It's so important. Okay, I'm now going to go on to my pet project, as I call it, Excel Our Girls. And before I get attacked, like I said, can I just ask all the ladies in here to stand up, please? Okay. So what are we seeing? What are we seeing? Oh, this is actually quite impressive. I'm actually quite impressed. There are a lot more young ladies than I thought I would see. So nice, well done UCC, well done. I'm really impressed. Normally, when I go and speak to organizations and I ask them, please to sit, I ask the young ladies to stand. I just see them dotted, just a few of them dotted around. So I'm very impressed. Well done. Well done.
So the Excel Our Girls program was just basically born out of the need just to fill the gap. We all know what the gaps are. I'm not going to go into it. But when I started learning, I do a lot of courses. As old as I am, I do a lot of courses. I realized that there were always lots of gentlemen on the course and not many young girls. So I asked the facilitator, why is the case? Why aren't these girls taking advantage of these courses? Because when I think about courses like this, data analytical skills, etc., what I think about is working for myself. Okay, because as women, it's going to get a time where majority of us are going to get married, we're going to have children, we're going to have to take a break, and our careers are going to suffer. Now, some of us may not be able to go back into the professional field again. And having a skill like data analytics is something that, will take you a long way. You can work from home. You can do so much. Similar to being an accountant, you can work from home. You can set up your own business, and you can manage, have that balance of family time and your career. You don't have to stop working, or you don't have to stop building yourselves just because you're married and you've got kids, etc., etc. You can still build yourself up. So these kind of skills for me are crucial for girls, and that's why I had girls in mind when I decided to do this. And then, after all, guys, they're the same girls you're going to marry, so it benefits you as well. Okay. So we started the Excel Our Girls project in 2020. We did our first one in 2020. It was quite difficult because we didn't actually have a plan, or I didn't have a plan as to how I was going to reach out to the students. We're based in Accra, so we could only really speak with the students, people in Accra, because it's a physical course. So what we did is we got hold of people at the university. We got some adverts out. We put the applications out. Funnily enough, or surprisingly enough, we only have space for 20 girls. We had the first one, we had 198 girls applying. So we had the task of, trying to sift them out and take the best ones. We gave them an online test, and out of that, 100 did very well. Thank you. 100 did very well. So we decided to interview all of them. When they came in, we interviewed them and we gave them another test because we thought, okay, let's just make sure that they actually did the test that we put online. So out of that, we had about 50, I think it was 52 candidates. We then went on to give them another test, and we actually selected 22 girls because we knew that there might be attrition, and 2 girls did drop out for personal reasons. So that's how we did our selection. Now, what the objectives of the program was basically to bridge the required proficiency gap and also give the girls hands-on experience. We deal basically with analytics and data, so it's Excel and then one other program. We also wanted to train girls so they're able to build data-driven solutions. And like I said, we used Excel, Microsoft Excel, and on the first cohort, they did Python. The next lot actually did Power Apps, App Sheets, and our next lot are going to do Power BI. Okay, so the whole objective is to empower and create a pool of critical thinkers. Okay, this is our second cohort, some of the girls, 20 girls in total, and they did data analytics, they did the low-code app development, and then they did Excel. We always do Excel, that's just our basic thing. Everyone needs to do Excel. And what we do is that the second week that the girls come in, we split them up into teams. We don't pick the teams, we just do the t-shirts, and we just say to them, just pick your favorite color. So there's blue, yellow, red, and green. So whatever color they pick, that's the team that they're in. And in the second week, they don't necessarily know each other. So they then get to learn about each other and how to work, because you don't get to pick your team when you're out there in industry. So that was the first point. So these girls then form their teams. In the 5th week of the training course, they're given a project to work on. They all have the same data and they're asked to do something with the data. So we had the first cohort that we had the data from the consensus when they count. So the consensus, yes. So they did a whole presentation on their graduation on basically the theme that came out was Accra is choked. So we still joke about it. So some of them did transport, some of them did housing, some of them did jobs, and we have a panel who judge the presentations, and every girl has to speak. You can't get away with hiding behind your team members. Every single girl has to speak, and then the judges who have never seen the presentation will then question you. And it's tough because sometimes I feel bad because sometimes I feel as if, oh, maybe we didn't train them well enough, but they get through it. I tell you, these girls are brilliant. They get through it. So far, our trainees have come from University of Ghana, obviously because we're in Accra. We had some people from UPSA also in Accra. We had one girl from King's College, that's sort of Kaswa area. We actually had a lady from KNUST, and I think she was on a break, so she was able to stay in Accra and do the course. And then we don't only take undergraduates, we also take girls in industry. So we've had people from research, food and beverages, finance, and financial markets as well. The other thing I wanted to mention was that whilst you're developing your skills, that may be the time that you actually realize what kind of profession you want to go into. I'm a CIMA, chartered management accountant, let me get it right. But I didn't study business at university. I actually studied applied chemistry. So I'm a scientist. Well, sort of. But the course that I did was what they call a sandwich course. And that's why I'm so happy that you talk about internships. Because with a sandwich course, after your second year, you go out into industry to work. So you have to work with a firm for a whole year, and then you come back for your final year. Now, during my internship, I was working with Exxon Petrochemicals, or ESSO. Okay, and my job was to test engine oils. So I used to blend different engine oils with all the different concentrations. I don't know if you have any scientists. We have any chemistry students here? No. We need to send them this video. Some of them will come and do business. So I blend these engine oils, then I put them in a fume cupboard, heat a plate, and let this oil just drop on the plate for like 3 hours. Cool it for another 2 hours, take the plate out, grade it, and basically the blacker the plate, the horrible the oil, or the more emissions the engine oil was going to give, so it wasn't good. Now, I then had to present my results to my team. And so I used to record my results on, in those days, we had Lotus 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Yeah. So I recorded the results on Lotus 1, 2, 3, which is like Excel in the olden days. And then I had to do graphs and certain things so that I can explain what was going on with the different blends of engine oil. So whilst I was doing this, I was thinking to myself, I don't actually enjoy doing this mixing of engine oils and this dripping of oil in this thing and then standing around in my lab coat and all this. The bit that I enjoyed was the analysis of the results and the presentation of the results. So I said to myself, what can I do that, you know, in my career that will kind of closely relate to what I'm doing here? And I went through a lot of thought, and then I thought, okay, figures, numbers, I'll just do accountancy. And I must say, and I was saying to my fellow speaker, sometimes I sit back and I say to myself, am I really doing what I love to do? And the honest truth is, I don't know. Because there's just so much, you know, there's just so much you can do. Even in accountancy, there's just so many bits that you can specialize in. And that's why I say it's so important to develop your skills. It's so important to develop your skills so that when you're out there, just for yourself, to have job satisfaction, so you enjoy what you're doing. And then secondly, when you go out there, you blossom, you bloom, you know, you do your best because it's something that you enjoy doing. Okay, so the skills that our girls acquired were data analytical skills, so Microsoft Excel, Power BI, programming skills like Python and R, business solution skills, app sheets and power sheets, and then obviously communication skills with their presentations. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about Finance Skills Hub. So Finance Skills Hub is headed by a guy called Bernard Obimboating, and he's brilliant. He's an Excel guru, he's like an MVP, he's a financial modeler, he's anything analytical, Bernard Obimboating. He actually did some training. I don't know how many of you listen to the radio. He did some training for one of the radio stations. I'm not going to advertise them because they're not here. And the presenter actually did a talk on it, and so many people have now come to him for training. But basically, what Finance Skills Hub is offering now, they're already doing this, but only in Legon. So what they've offered to do is to take their pro bono training online. So guys, please, this is their website, finexskillshub.com. Yeah, .com. If you go into their website, they've got a section called Giving Back. So you go in there, you register, and from next month you can join their online training. So I just wanted to find out if there's anyone who has got a little bit of Excel experience. A little bit. Anyone? I need help. So who's going to come and help me? Just one person. There was a lot of yeses here, so one of you guys, please, quickly, we're running out of time. I'm not going to embarrass you, you're just going to help me along. Go on, with the green pen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a chair for him, please? Okay. Can you see? Can this go up? Or you have to do something else? Oh dear. Okay, whilst they're sorting it out, you know, what we have here is a budget spreadsheet. Okay, oh, you're helping me. Do you chuck him? or you're both going to help? Okay, excellent. So we have a budget spreadsheet that we need to fill out. Guys, this is the highlight of my presentation, so don't let me down. Oh, can I use your... It's called UCC presentation budget space. You have Excel on here. Okay. So maybe you can use. I think you can just get Excel you can use.
As we are waiting for the system to come on, there has been some skills that have been announced and presented to us today. One, time management, team building, presentation skills. These are skills that we at the School of Business have been telling our students from time to time, that once we do this, they are going to help us a lot. Talks about the use of Microsoft Excel for most of the things that are being done, Python, R, and other software applications that are being used. Analytical skills. So as we are here and we are listening to the experts from industry, it means that whatever that we are doing here, we are bringing industry into our lecture rooms. And these are very critical for us when we get out there. She said
Employees are looking for that one thing that makes you stand out. That there are a lot of people who are out there and they are doing a lot. Whilst we are young and we are in school, it is time for us to learn those skills whilst we are in school. Don't wait till you are out of school before you want to learn the skills. We are young, our brains are young, and we used to tell you that the only thing that when you use it, it does not diminish is knowledge. When you share it, it increases. Let's go back to our presentation and then we will get more information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for your patience. So, what do we see on this board? Can anyone tell me what it is? It's a spreadsheet, it's an Excel spreadsheet, and it's a budget spreadsheet. So let's say you're out in industry working. Your boss calls you in and says, oh, I need to get this out as soon as possible. These are my projections. I've just got January. I know I'm going to grow by 1% in the first quarter, by 3% in the second quarter, 2% in the third quarter, and then 3% in the final quarter. So I need to do this budget quickly and get it out. So my helpers here, if you can help me, how do I get the first figure in February?
So the prediction is telling us we are using a growth rate of 1.0%. So we are going to look at the actual value we have here for January. That is the first figure in cell C18. That is 139,936. So we are going to multiply that by 101% because we are basing on the initial value to get a projected one.
You see how brilliant our students are? Well done. Okay. Sorry, hold this please, just to my mouth. Okay. So he's absolutely right. Sorry, what's your name? Joel is absolutely right. So what we're going to do is, no, I'm not used to this. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take, so where's the delete backspace? Okay, so we're going to take this figure, multiply it by, where is it? Multiply it by, hey, where's the normal arrow? Bracket, no, I want bracket, yeah. Multiply it by 1 plus our percentage, okay, which is the same thing. Okay. And now we're going to copy this across. So can you tell me what I need to do so that I can copy whatever I get in this cell across to get the correct answer? I want it always to multiply by, so I want it always to stay with a 1 plus C17. So this C17 has to stay at C17 in this cell and also in that cell.
So you make it an absolute referencing cell.
Yes, that's what we call referencing. So with that we do F4. So this is not my laptop, so I'm struggling a bit. No, it's not working. No. Okay, let me just use the $sign. This one? But I need the $sign in front of the 17, okay? Then I close my bracket. Okay. What's your name? Abigail. What Abigail was suggesting that we put another $, in front of the C. When we do that, we're locking the cell C as well. So when we get to April, because remember we're going to copy across. When we get to April, it's still going to pick the 1% instead of the 3%. Okay. So basically this is what we do. We go to the next cell. Oh gosh. Go to the next cell. We do the same thing. So we take the February figure. Okay. And then we multiply it by 1 plus Where's my plus sign? The percentage. Okay, and again, we fix the 17. Don't worry, this gets very interesting. Oh, what's the entry? Okay. Now, our first quarter result is to add all of these. Can anyone tell me a quick way of adding these three cells? Okay, I can either type in equal sum, this by this, or I can just go alt equal. Okay. So that's quick. Then we move into the next cell. This time we want to take the March figure, okay, and multiply it by 1 plus our percentage in April, and then fix that as well. And then we close our bracket. Okay. So now I'm sure you're all thinking, are we going to do this in every single cell until we finish this whole spreadsheet? No, we're not. Because we use the absolute referencing, we can copy the formula across. So what we do is that we go into February, where our formula is. We copy up to the first quarter. So to copy, anyone have the shortcut for copy? Control C, excellent. Control C, we copy. And then we come into May and we do, how do we paste? Control V. So now we've got a whole quarter now. Then we copy this quarter. Okay. Control C. And we paste it in July. Control V. We move across. And then do Control V again. And then we come to our totals. And can you remember what I said before? Alt equal. Excel is so clever. See, it didn't pick everything. It knows that this is what you're trying to do. So it picks the correct figure. So we got our figure here. Now, once we've done that, we don't now have to go and do the same thing over and over again. So what we do is we copy what we've done. Because we've done absolute referencing, we copy from here. Okay. To the end, we control copy that, then we go into our cells here where we need to paste our formulas and do a Control C, a Control V. Sorry, C. So even we make mistakes. So Control copy, Control C, we go into our cells and we do a Control V. Okay, then we move down. Okay, we move down. We pick this whole section. Okay, Control V. We move down again. We pick this. We can actually do Control Shift and arrow to pick the whole thing, but I'm not used to this laptop, so I don't want to jinx it. So I'll just use the arrows to go down and copy the formulas down. Control V. Okay, so now we've done the spreadsheet. It's filled. What we then need to do is go back, okay, and work out what our gross revenue is. So can someone help me? Okay, you can do Alt equal. Yes. Okay, you have to be careful. It's picking the 1%, so we need to make sure we take that out. Okay, then we can, exactly. Hey, these guys, they're actually teaching me. So what do you do? Control R, isn't it? So that's like, I just call it copyright. So you come down, you do the same thing here. Okay, Alt equal, enter. You go across. Control R. Do we have a timekeeper here? How long is this taking us? Then we work out our gross profit. What we can also do is we can just copy the whole cell, the whole line, and then just put our formula in. So here we can say equal our gross revenue minus our cost of sales. And then if we do Control Enter, it just fills across. I'm nearly done. So here you do Alt equal. Okay, and then for the net profit, our net profit is our gross profit minus our total expenses. So we pick that from here, minus the total expenses, Control Enter, and it fills out for us. So we look at our profits at the end of the year now, and it's $500,000. Okay, so I'm going to be very quick. Our boss then comes and says to us, actually, that's too small. We need 600,000 in order to make our bonuses. So what do? I want to change the sales figure. Now, what some people will do is they'll come up to the sales figure and start fiddling around with it to try and get that 600,000. You don't need to do that. In Excel, all you need to do is use something called goal seek. So what you do is you just go into your data, you go to your what if analysis, okay, you see goal seek. You don't have to learn any formulas. Goal seek. Now it's asking you which cell do you want it to set. We want to set this cell, our total profit, our net profit at the end of the year. That's the cell we want to set, which it has already picked. What value do you want to set it to? We need $600,000. So we do $600,000. And then it's asking us what cell do we need to change. It's our sales cell. So the sales cell that our boss gave us at the beginning of the year, this one. We want that to change. We don't know what the number is going to be, but we want that to change. We okay it. See, our profit is here. So watch. Okay, it was 139,936. So we change that, we okay it, and it does it for us. So you know, these are the type of skills you can learn when you improve yourself. It's very easy. Because we're talking through it, it took us a bit longer, but this will take you like 5 minutes to do. Imagine sitting in a board meeting with your boss, going through figures, and they start throwing things at you. And you don't have to tell them, oh, after lunch, I'll go and come back. You can just sit and just do it for them quickly. When the promotion comes, who's going to get it? Okay. So thank you very much for your audience. So please, please, please take advantage of the Finex Skills Hub offer. And also when we start our next Excel Girls training, I'll make sure that it comes over to UCC so that we can have some of our girls. Thank you so much.
We can do it better. We can do it better. This is what industry deals with. And in fact, for those who want to do analysis, most of the things you use the Microsoft Excel in doing it. Most of us seated here, our parents have bought the laptops for us. But we've used the laptops as a movie house. So we only watch movies, go on social media. You have been asked to bring the laptops to class, but you feel they are too heavy for you to carry. And so you will not be able to look at it. We have some insurance companies that are here. We would encourage the insurance companies to develop products so that the mobile phones can be insured, laptops can be insured. When they are stolen, at least you take the risks for those things that you do. It is time now to listen to you. Time to take questions from you. So we had two presentations, skills for jobs, skills for development. We have social, environmental, and governance issues. We've seen the presentation, we've heard them. Time to ask questions. The floor is open. If you want to ask a question, just please move down here. For the purposes of time, I'll take 3 questions for each. 3 questions or contributions. Faculty, please, we are also part. Contributions from us would also make an impact. All right. So you ask only 1 question. All right.
I'm Evans, and my question is, Miss Director from the NSYONG, she was talking about we securing internship opportunities, and it will help upgrade our experience in the field. I had an experience where I had 1 month to spend at the house, so I wrote to a certain firm around, and the report they gave us was that before they could accept it, they had to sit with the board, because students that came led a bad legacy, that they came to falsify documents and all those stuffs, and for that reason they are not going to accept any student that comes without the board's involvement or their attention. So my question is that in what instances could people who had led bad legacy in a firm affect people who have genuine mind to support or help?
That's very intelligent one. In answering that question, please 2 more. You can write the question and send it to me. I'll read it for you. In answering the question, let me just also ask this.
Okay. Hello.
Please.
So if you have any question.
Yeah. So 2 more questions. 2 more questions. Okay.
Thank you. When our Madam Adia was speaking on the ESG, she said something like, outside, people were leaving the business because of the motive, their motive, the employees' motives. They were leaving. Here in Ghana, that's employment is another case. What do we then do? Are they going to look at the ESG in the side from the employers or the businesses, so that if you want to leave, you can quickly leave and get another job?
Okay, 1 more. Your name? Your name? Abigail. All right. 1 more question.
Good evening. Okay, so please, mine is actually a contribution to Mommy's presentation. And please, so during last sem, we asked to go and have our internship. So I wrote to Wejagbawe Municipal Assembly, and I was sent to the account office. So when I got there, before me going to the lecturer, Dr. Joshua Addo, he has taught us how to use Python, Access, and Excel for data analytics and stuff. But before that, before me coming to school, now I went to computer school. So when I got there, I met a level 400 girl there. So then they were giving work to do. My bosses there, they were giving work to do, to the extent that the guys sitting behind the machines, when we went there, we were like investing internship guys, so they were not valuing us all that much. So then it got to a time the MFO. The MFO was about leaving. So then it's like they didn't record their data as well. So then it got to a time the MFO will be leaving like 2 days. So then they were to record all those data and do analytics and stuff. So before that, when I went, I realized that they were using Excel in data savings for their database. But per what I learned from school, that's from Dr. Joshua, he told us that Access is the best tool for database. And therefore, if you use Excel, Excel wouldn't be good as compared to Access. So that I got close to my boss and I was telling my boss that although they are using Excel, but then I have another idea. So he asked me, what do I know? And I told him, I know that Access is best for data storage, and it is, but Excel is good for the analytics. That's for the calculation. So then he gave me the opportunity to convert all the data they've collected from like the past years. Then he asked me to do some analytics. He was thinking I'm lying with what I'm saying, so he asked me to do some analytics, and I did that. Then also, I was there in the marriage department. They came that they need information from Excel, from the revenue audit, the revenue office. So when they came, the man was the one sitting behind the PC was now writing. He will look for like marriage 1. The datas were mixed, so he look for marriage 1, then he write it. Look for marriage 2, then he write. So I got to him. I was like, Mr. Isi, please, I want to help you. I want to use the if function to look for all what you need for you. So I just typed like I used the if function to select everything. Then the man awarded me. When I went home last sem, they were like, I should come to the office again.
That's great. Beautiful stories. Beautiful stories. So, Madam, in answering this question, there is this current issue about attack in Asherman, where the soldiers went to attack. And so, areas that have that type of name. And so a young lady went for an interview. And one of the questions they asked was, where do you come from? He said, oh, I'm coming from Ashaiman. That was the end of it. How would you handle some of these things when you get to an interview session? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Evans, Abigail, and what's the name of? Okay. Yes, thanks for the question. You know, Evans, what's my name? Okay. You know the reason why I'm asking you that? You need to develop, these are all skills. So 2 people have already sent me connection link on LinkedIn, and I've accepted, you know. And I've even chatted with one of the ladies. And some people will leave here, you know, they will totally forget about my name, Madam Yvonne's name, you know. So it's very important. Listen. And in this day of, you know, social media network, you can quickly check the person, especially on LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn, you know, a bit on Facebook as well. But have a LinkedIn presence, because if you submit your CV, first point of call, every employer will tell you, is to go to LinkedIn and check. So this lady who went for the interview and indicated that she's from a shaman, I think in these days we are trying to encourage diversity, you know. So even the places people live, it's a plus. So you have people from a shaman, people from Sprinters, others from East Legon. You have diversity. If you have these people in a team, they're able to get, ideas that you, the leader, will not even have. They're able to provide practical insights. So in most organizations now, people are looking for diversity, and they are looking at, different religious background, because you want to have maybe a Muslim in your team, you want to have a Christian, you want to have this tribe, as much as you possibly can. It reflects diversity, inclusion, and that is what most global firms and other international organizations and other local firms as well are trying to achieve. So we should try as much as possible, to have a presence there that we control, because if you don't brand yourself, someone will do it for you. So please try and have a social media presence of a sort, especially LinkedIn. So I think that's one. The question from Evans, and Evans, thanks so much, for the confidence to come out from all the people sitting to ask a question. Well done. So to you and Abigail, let's give them a round of applause. Do you remember the definition for sustainability that I gave? You do. It answers the question. Because whatever you are doing today, are you creating opportunity for future generations to also achieve their aim? So if you get the opportunity to intern in a company and you don't live up to expectation, that means you've denied another person the opportunity. You go, you falsify documentation and all that. You put up behaviors that are not professional. You are not putting up a sustainable behavior, because the definition of sustainability as we defined was that development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. And it's very similar. So someone went for internship, assuming we take you on, the behavior you will demonstrate. If you come and you are helpful as the third gentleman, what's his name? Roxanne is adding value. So in addition to Excel, he's giving you insights on access, how to get, meaningful input from that. Every business leader or every manager will be very excited, So as you go in there, and as we learn on sustainability, we know that our behavior is not only for us now. What am I leaving? So that when I finish this internship, EY or company ABC will come to Prof and say, Prof, give me 10 more people, because the people you gave me really added value. This is what we should all be, aspiring for. And this is what we call, sustainability mindset. So whatever we do, we should be looking at that. And I think Abigail's question was on the great resignation I mentioned. So you had a lot of people leaving. Not only in advanced economies, even in Ghana, most of the firms, you had a lot of people, because people outside, let's say London, UK, were leaving former jobs. There was a lot of opening for professionals locally to also go. So you had a lot of, accountants, doctors, lecturers, teachers moving into, other jurisdictions. And these people, as I indicated, are purpose-driven. So where I'm working, the business decisions, are they impacting on the environment negatively? Where I'm investing, is it impacting negatively? So these will all feed into my decision to either have a long career or move. So these are some of the key things that people look at. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next set of questions, we have one that has been sent to us here. How does the implementation of ESG helps organizations to achieve competitive advantage? Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity given. Please, with regards to the ESG, my peculiar emphasis on the environment and then the social factor. If you are an entrepreneur and then you are trying to survive in this competitive business environment, how can you really incorporate the philosophies of ESG? Because it's more or less futuristic, even though it's good, but we are trying to sustain. So as an entrepreneur, how would you incorporate it? Should you wait 5 years after or what? Thank you.
All right. One more.
Thank you very much. My question goes like this. You know, as a leader, at times you would like to organize a program and you want an eminent people or people with dignity to be invited. So my question is that when you are being invited to a program, what are some factors that you consider before you attend the program? Thank you very much.
Okay. So factors you consider when you are invited for a program before you attend that program. All right. So who is taking it first? Let's take the last one.
Okay, thank you for your question. I didn't quite get your name, but I'm sure that the rest of you will like to know. For myself personally, when I'm invited to a program, the first thing that I take into account is it going to benefit? What I've got to say, is it going to benefit my audience? That's the first thing I think about. And then the next thing that I think about is, is it going to have an impact on them? And also, not just what I can give to them, but what I can also take from them. So am I also going to learn something from this engagement that I have? And I will say that I actually contacted Paul, our SEMA head. I actually contacted him and said to him that I wanted to do this. I wasn't approached. I actually volunteered to do it because this is where my passion is. My passion is in basically uplifting young people and educating young people. So it's something that I really wanted to do. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll also add to it. So I also reached out to Paul. You know, he posted on our platform that UCC is having CEO events. So anyone interested, so I reached out to him that I'm interested, you know. So you should speak to Prof. If you have me, I'm happy to come. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah. So it's also good. I think the gentleman, I like names. What's his name again? The one who asked the questions on what we consider. Joel. Ahinche. Hey, that's enough. Okay, all right. So the program you are organizing, you know, what topic do you want people to handle? That will also go a long way to influence the speakers you want to attract. You know, what sector are you, handling? So that is also very important to look at it. You know, people interested, and also availability. You know, sometimes people may not be available based on your time. So it's even better to speak to the speakers, get the availability before you even fix your date. Because if you go with a fixed date, the person's schedule might be, fully booked, and you might not end up getting those speakers you are looking for. So I wish you all the best in your next program. All right. There was a question on, I think it's really around costs of ESG. That as an entrepreneur, how can you incorporate ESG in your operations, taking into consideration costs? I think that was a general question. So for ESG's benefits, you cannot sacrifice maybe short-termism or short-term benefits for a long-term gain. So if you are an organization or a company, even seeking to raise funding, we will look at your governance structure. Do you have the right board in place? Do you have policies and procedures that guide your operations? Who are the members of your board? What are the qualifications? What industry are you on? You know, so if you're operating in financial services, do you have a key expert with expertise in that sector who is a non-executive director, apart from your key executives? When it comes to social, labor, employment, what are the terms of engagement of the people you work with? So these are basic things that when you start, you know, right, you get the long-term value at the end of the day. And also there was a question around competitive advantage. As you do that, you know, as you gradually try to incorporate even solar, you know, for some aspect of your operations, recycle, you know, using paper packaging as we indicated, you attract people. Maybe in the short term, there's some element of cost, but over a longer period, people will be more attracted to some of the products that or services you provide. There's a lot of awareness creation, and within a couple of years, you know, I'm sure in our industry, in this country, you have a lot of people also buying, looking at the impact of their decisions. So if I'm buying a bottle of mineral, how is it packaged? What will be the implication for future generations? Just as our actions, even regarding internship, what is it going to have, you know, on future generations? So I think in the short term, you might look at it as a bit expensive, but over a long term, it adds value, and that's what we call long-term value. So you're not just looking at profits, you're looking at people, you are looking at the planet as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. In all that we do, one of the skills that we also learn is to appreciate. Learn how to say thank you in everything. It is time for the School of Business to say thank you to our presenters. Anampra, to come and give us the honors. The Dean of the School of Business, please, can you please come? Dean, can you please come? The little thing that you receive, it is always good to say thank you. Right, thank you so much for the opportunity. May I please invite Miss Yvonne Dotte to be Jochi. Thank you for the correction. So, Madam, this is from the University of Cape Coast School of Business, and we're giving you a citation in honor for what you've done for us today. You are the founder and CEO of Think Twice. That's good. So the citation conveys our warmest appreciation to you as our guest speaker at the second edition of the UCC School of Business CEOs Engagement Series to share your knowledge, time experience with our students and faculty. With your vast experience from working in a number of industry sectors, including engineering, finance, retail, petrochemicals, publishing, and non-profit organizations. The University of Cape Coast School of Business is proud to be associated with you. We remain optimistic about the future continuity of the collaboration. Once again, accept our warmest appreciation, and it's from the University of Cape Coast School of Business.
We can clap together. Let's do it together.
Thank you.
Let's do it together. Thank you, madam. We appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. May I please invite our speaker, Madam Alice Osei Okra. Madam, you have a lot of things here: ACMA, CGMA, CVA, the Director, Strategy and Transactions, and can you put our hands together for her? Yes, madam. So this is from the University of Cape Coast, your own school, your alma mater, and we are proud that you've come back to your school, School of Business. We want to honor you that today you've been with us. So this citation conveys our warmest appreciation to you as our guest speaker at the second edition of the UCC School of Business CEO's Engagement Series to share your knowledge and lifetime experience with our students and the faculty. As a Director of Strategy and Transactions at Ernst & Young, with over 22 years of experience in the finance profession, both in Ghana and the United Kingdom, the UCC School of Business is proud to be associated with you. We remain optimists about the future continuity of the collaboration. Once again, accept our warmest appreciation.
Thank you, thank you. We can do it better.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you, madam. Thank you. God bless you
so much.
Thank you. So, thank you. All right. So, Vice Dean, please, we have a set of packages for them as well. So, can you please come and just do us that honors by presenting these souvenirs from the School of Business to them. So, please. Okay, Vice Dean is coming up. Thank you, Vice Dean. Thank you, Vice Dean. Thank you, thank you. I think we've had a lot, and if we get the time, we would have still asked for more. We have our chair, and so we need to take our closing remarks from the chair. So, Mr. Chair, please come for the closing remarks. Prof. Chair.
Thank you very much. Actually, I'm not a chair, just being in for the provost. Thank you very much. The Dean of the School of Business, guest speakers, Mrs. Okra and Mrs. Is it Jochi, right? Jochi, yes. Thank you very much, colleagues and students. Now, as I said, the provost had to step away to go and attend to another thing, so he asked me to sit in for him. But I must say that I'm happy I sat in for him because I've got the opportunity to speak to this important audience. We had two presentations. One, skills training from Mrs. Duchi. Our ladies take advantage. And what we need to understand is that it's not all skills that are directly taught in the classroom. Unfortunately, our students of today think that if they have not been taught, it's not important. And so it is true that what you heard is true, that when you give group assignments and presentations, some people don't take part. But you see, they forget that the social skill that is involved in that thing is so important. And I'm happy you mentioned it today. So when we give you group assignments, it is for a reason. So take part. Thank you very much. Excel, maybe you will do Excel boys, or Excel men, Excel lecturers, Excel professors, and you all take advantage of that. Thank you very much. We also heard about ESG, and it's a very important topic to me, and I think for all of us. Environment, social, governance. And I am happy that the suggestion is that the School of Business must find ways and means to incorporate these important issues in their programs. Because I believe that very soon the majority of you here are going to be CEOs. And if you are a CEO, you employ people. And so if the CEO cares about the environment, it trickles down. And I believe you will care about the environment. Yes, we have environmentalists. We have the environment and water science. We have the departments, we have the faculties and all that. But how many are there? They are working hard, but I don't think it's going down well. But if you got all of you here, because today the world is moving towards businesses, entrepreneurship. And so if all of us are interested in environment, I think we will get far. And perhaps it is time. It is time, because if you go through Ghana and you see how we're destroying the environment, it is sad. Nothing we are doing in this country is sustainable by the definition of sustainability you gave. Because we don't seem to care about the future. We don't care about future generations. It's all about what we get in today. And is that sustainable? We've destroyed all our water bodies. 3 days ago, I was at the beach. You know, today when you're going to Elmina, you have all sorts of sports, if you like, pubs. And if you go behind the plastic bottles and the things you see over there, if I were given the power, I'll collapse all those pubs there, because we need to protect the environment, but I do not have the power. And as we spoke, the lessons I gathered, or the major lesson I gathered, is that he who cares about the environment cares about human beings. And if you care about human beings, you do good governance, and everybody benefits. So there's a direct relationship between the three. Anybody, if you like, you go around the world, people who care about the environment care so much about other people. And they are so sociable. They love human beings. And if you love human beings and you are given the opportunity to govern, you govern well. So it benefits people, and then you sustain the future of your country. And so I'm happy that you've suggested, and I believe our dean here, Professor Gachi, I know him very well. He's going to take it on board, and we are also ready to support him. Because by all means, I believe that if he prepares the program, it will come to a board meeting. I'll be part of the board. We will push it so that we begin to protect the future of this country through our own students. Thank you very much. And on that note, and on behalf of the provost, I say thank you to everybody for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof, for the closing remarks. There is a thinking now. The thinking is that we need to move from disconnection into interconnectivity. We need to look at cellular thinking, not linear thinking, silo to emergence thinking,
analysis to synthetic thinking, and isolation to relationship thinking. We appreciate everyone that is here. I feel I'm not qualified enough to thank anyone who is seated here. Your presence is very important, so I'll call on a professor in human resource management, specially selected, to give us the vote of thanks. With a round of applause, let's welcome Professor Mrs. Rebecca De Mensa to give us the vote of thanks.
Oh, you can do it better. You know I like the fans. The acting chair, our dean, and our vice dean, and everybody present. I'm grateful that I've been asked to thank you all on behalf of management. My first thanks goes to the Almighty God. By His providence, we've come this far. We are grateful to Him. We want to also thank all our invited guests. I think a special guest of honor, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, was here. Although she's here, she's not here now. We want to thank her so much for making time for us. The Provost of Chills was also here. Prof. Kwame Osei Kwating, we want to say a big thank you to him. Then the Dean of Faculty of Arts, Prof. Safo Kantanka. We are very grateful that you made time to come. Our college registrar is here. And our special guests, our speakers, we are very grateful. Mrs. Alice Osei Okra, and then Mrs. Yvonne Luche. We are very, very, very grateful. In fact, I'm very happy. You know, they are women, and today was a women affairs, and that was very, very good. And to my colleague lecturers, I want to say thank you for spending time with us. We are very grateful. And to you students, today is so impressive. We are very grateful. Thank you for coming and for staying through. And to all invited guests, media partners, our MC, and everybody, may God bless you all. We are grateful. Thank you.
And thank you too for thanking us. Joy FM, we thank you so much. Joy News, Joy TV. We have UCC TV, Radio ATL, 100.5 FM. We are live on the School of Business Facebook page, so everything has been streamed live on that particular page. It's time to announce that we've come to the end of the program. Well, when we started with God. So as we are going to end, before we pray, there are some announcements for all of us. So Faculty Office.
Thank you very much. This one, 10 seconds. You would agree with me that this program has been organized as part of the 29th Business Week celebration. We started yesterday. Yesterday we had a staff rights conference. Today we're having the CEO's engagement series. Am I going too fast? Let me calm down. Alright, so what I'm saying is that this program has been organized as part of the CEO's engagement series. Sorry, the School of Business Association of UCC School of Business Association of Business Students. So it's organized as part of the 29th Business Week celebration. So yesterday we had the staff rights conference. Those of you who were here, you testified that it was very successful. Today we are having this series. Tomorrow, I'm told, is the interdepartmental debate. Same venue. The time is 12:30. So make sure you pass by. There are a lot of goodies and there are some companies on board who are here to also sponsor. There's going to be a cooking competition on Thursday. On Thursday at the forecourt of School of Business Building Complex. So make sure you pass by and taste whatever is being organized there. And then there's also going to be a trade fair on Friday. And the attire I'm told is recaps goes traditional. You know we are in March, Ghana month. So make sure you are in your traditional attire on Friday. There's also going to be a movie night on same day, Friday. Yes, movie night, same venue, 6 o'clock sharp. And then on Saturday, there's going to be health walk. You are going to exercise around campus, and then you end it up at the UCC sports complex at all sites. So make sure we participate in all these programs. I'm told contestants for the cooking competition should wait behind the closing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. This all women affair, and so I'll call on another lady, so far one of our postgraduate students, to give us a closing prayer. So far, please come and give us a closing prayer.
Thank you. Shall we rise? So we are praying. Father, we thank you for this day. You made it possible for us together to learn and also to develop ourselves. We pray that whatever we have heard today will not just go off us, but we'll keep it and add it to whatever that we have for the future to come, and also for the benefit of all humans. We commit our leaders, our guests, and everybody that is here into your hand. And Lord, you continue to protect us and give us the insight we need for the future. Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you. Please, the lecturers, please can you join us here for a good picture? The invited guests.